There are three people that I do want to recognize specific to this event, and those are three folks who had the vision, the wisdom, and the perseverance to bring this high school internship about. Norman Robbins retired from here a couple years ago and has been a longtime member of the Fort Worth ISD Board of Trustees. Laura Hopkins previously led our organizational talent team, and Amy Motzenbacher ran the internship program for Arlington ISD. The three of them together came up with the great partnership that started what is now growing here in North Texas, and as we look across Lockheed Martin, we'll be growing across Lockheed Martin. But it took those three to make that happen. For Norman, for Laura, and for Amy, thank you. To start a program, it's an honor to introduce Dr. Vince Bertram, the President and Chief Executive Officer of Project Lead the Way. Your programs have more information about Project Lead the Way, but what I'd like to mention about Vince is he's an educator through and through. From the classroom, through school leadership, up to superintendent of the third largest urban school district in Indiana. He's been with Project Lead the Way since 2011, and he's a national voice in the importance of career-relevant education, specifically science, technology, engineering, and math. In addition to things like testifying before Congress and writing for a variety of publications, he has a great book, and I recommend this for all parents, even though it's designed for high school students and college students. It's called Dream Differently, Candid Advice for America's Students. I keep this on my bookshelf right next to Dan Gable's book, A Wrestler's Life, and that shows the variety of kinds of things. But at this time, if you please join me in welcoming Dr. Vince Bertram.
Well, thank you. For $24.95, I'll send you a book. I'm kidding. Actually, though, I would love, and I'd love to send all of our students, I will send you a copy. But I'm going to share a few thoughts about this. But before I do, as I think about Project Lead the Way and why we do what we do, and our mission is to empower students to thrive in an evolving world, understanding that technology changes rapidly, and the world that you're getting ready to enter is a world much different than your parents entered, and one that we've known in the last decade. Things change rapidly. So how do you compete in that kind of environment? But beyond that is we believe that this work starts very early. We know that students make decisions whether they're good in math and science as early as second grade. You get turned off these subjects really hard to get them turned back. But so often, we just avoid the real questions around why we need to learn certain things. We are taught that we learn math to solve a problem. We learn that we need to learn math to take a test. But the reality is these are real tools to solve real-world problems. And that's what we have to do, is to understand the relevancy of learning. And when I think of relevancy, I learned something very important about relevancy when one of my four sons was in preschool, and his teacher called me and said, "Vince, we're really concerned about Drew's math." I'm like, "Well, Drew is 3. What's the problem?" And they said, "Well, I asked him a question today, he didn't know the answer." And I said, "What was the question?" And he said, "Drew, if you had 12 pencils and I took 4 away, how many pencils do you have remaining?" And my son looked at his teacher and said, "Who cares? I only need 1 pencil." I thought, I'm giving him a high five. Way to go, buddy. All right. That night we were watching a basketball game. I said, "Drew, what's the score of the game?" He said, 59-54. I said, "How many points are we down?" He said, "We're down 5, Dad." We don't have a math problem. We have a relevancy problem. So the real mission around PLW is how do we connect all of this? How do we bring real-world experiences to students while they're in K-12? And to make learning relevant, to give you real-world projects, to allow you to apply math and science in real-world ways. That's why we do what we do. But more importantly then, is how do we connect this to career learning? What is the currency of this experience? beyond high school. I think about things like taking the SAT or the ACT. Why are they important? Who cares about them? How many would take the SAT if you didn't have to, if a college or university didn't require it? Not very many. You don't do it for fun. You do it because someone expects that of you. So the big question is, why do you have to develop the skills that are in demand? Okay? It's because employers demand it. The ability to problem solve, to think critically, to communicate, to collaborate. These are skills that are in demand, and without those skills, you don't differentiate yourself. And that's really why he wrote this book. And I want to give you 4 or 5 points from it that I think are really important. How many have ever been told just to follow your dreams and everything will work out? Okay, that is irrational advice. Right? It doesn't work that way. That's not the way the real world works. The world doesn't care about your dreams. It sounds harsh, but the reality is you distinguish yourself by what you can do, the skills you have. Right? Now, ideally, you get to combine these skills with something you really love to do, and then you take control of your future. That's what you're getting ready to experience, is this convergence of opportunity, of skills, and something you really enjoy. Because humans can also become commodities. You have to differentiate yourself. People will say, well, education is the great equalizer. I don't agree with that at all. I think education is the great differentiator. You get an education to differentiate yourself, to separate yourself, to rise above, take advantage of opportunities. And then many of you are getting ready. You have a year or so and you're going to go to college, right? How many are going to college? All right, okay, I know the numbers here. I want to give you a couple thoughts about this. You're going to probably go into engineering. You're going to go into one of the highest demand professions in the United States and around the world. Right? You're going to have opportunity, right, with those kind of degrees. But beyond that, I want you to think about the investment you're making in college. How many of you guys, the interns and others who are going to have another exciting part of your day, right? How many of you have ever been to a concert? Any of you? How many paid $50 or more for a concert ticket? Now, when you bought that ticket, you expected for there to be a concert, correct? And you expected for it to be good, right? What do you do if for some reason you can't go to the concert? What do? You can talk. You sell the ticket, right? You go to the internet. How many of you go out and you go to the venue, you sell the ticket, a $50 ticket you're going to resell. You're going to spend hours trying to resell the ticket. Well, I would tell you, for every class session you have in college, it costs you $50. For every class session you blow off, just deposit your $50 to the door. The difference is there's no resale market for it. You don't get it back. You just missed an opportunity to learn and to differentiate yourself. Take advantage of every opportunity. You sleep in one day, you miss 4 classes, $200 down the drain. And I want you to think about that every time. The other is how you pursue your electives. Okay? You're going to have some electives you get a chance to take. You can take blow-off classes, you can take classes that add value. I would recommend you do the latter. Take classes that make a difference for you. Take a class in entrepreneurship and business and accounting. Take classes that differentiate you, that give you different levels of knowledge beyond the courses that are required of you. Differentiate yourself. And then there's actually a chapter in the book, and I say this and I believe it to the bottom of my heart. The most important thing for you is to have a great internship, okay? And to get real-world experience. And that's what you are getting today. You're among the best students in the world. You have differentiated yourself. You've developed skills and knowledge. You've created an opportunity for yourself. You've earned an opportunity. You also have a great company that believes in you. A company that's extended an opportunity to you unlike any other, and one that we believe is a national model, one that we believe and we hope that more and more students across this country get an opportunity to do with Lockheed Martin and other employers. This is really important for you to really learn and to discover. You're going to learn from some of the best engineers, best people in the world. Absorb everything you can absorb. Learn as much as you can learn. Be curious every day. Ask questions. Take advantage of this opportunity. Okay? Think about what you can aspire to and then what you need to do over the next 4 or 5 years to get this kind of opportunity. Okay? You guys are getting ready to go to work for one of the best companies in the world. Okay? You're going to get to do things that not very many people get to do. Just look around this room and across this facility. This is one of the best technology companies in the world, building the best technology to keep our country safe. Okay? You get to be a part of that. And we're proud of you for that. And I want to thank Ken and the team here at Lockheed Martin. You guys are just great partners. And you inspire us about what can be possible. And thank you for what you're doing for these students. Thank you for this connection, and thank you for being a model for our country of how we build a STEM skill workforce. You know, for many of you, there are too many people that take this work for chance. And I think about in college athletics. Isn't it, the irony is that we'll go out and recruit 7th and 8th graders, right? Because they've differentiated themselves in athletics. We'll project them up and say, we're going to offer you a scholarship at grade 9 to play Division I college football. But then when it comes to the most important things for our economy and our national security, we leave it to chance. Okay? We're just going to wait for the system to happen, and then we're going to be at the other end and get those that come out. Then there are those who do just the opposite, to say we are going to make a difference. We're going to get to students early. We're going to create these kind of opportunities. We're going to build this pipeline, and then we're going to continue to differentiate ourselves as a country and continue to lead this world. Okay? That's the company you're getting ready to work for. So thank you very much for your leadership, and we're just grateful as an organization to be part of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bertram. At Lockheed Martin, as Dr. Bertram mentioned, we're very serious about hiring the world's best engineers and scientists. That takes teamwork and deliberate action and planning. Greg Karol is our Vice President for Human Resources, and he is at the head of that strategy as we pursue to make sure we have the right people in place to always engineer a better tomorrow. Please join me in welcoming Greg.
Thank you, Ken. You know, I knew coming into work today that this was going to be a fantastic day. And as I was driving in, I was thinking about the energy that I'm feeling right now in this room. There was a radio host down there with a kind of a news program. And some guy got on there and he started talking about the fear that they had about the future workforce. Would it be as good? Would it be ready for the challenges to come? I got to tell you, from this podium where I'm sitting, I see the future. The future is very bright. And I'm very excited, not only for you, but I'm excited for Lockheed Martin because you're coming to join with us. And it's going to be a great thing. As Dr. Bertram mentioned, real-world experience is so essential and so very important as you develop your skills to go out in the real world and work. Our high school internship program is one way that Lockheed Martin is doing that. But it would not be possible without our partners, Project Lead the Way and our local ISDs. Please give them a hand. They've been great partners with us. For years, we had college intern programs. We'd reach back, we would get rising juniors and seniors and bring them in and ultimately make them Lockheed Martin employees. But several years ago, we realized as we went to the college campus, there was fewer and fewer students taking STEM curriculum. We knew that had to change. We knew we had to dig deeper into the student workforce and go out there and talk to them. Project Lead the Way was the perfect entree into that. Because of this partnership, high potential students are exploring STEM-focused careers at Lockheed Martin while still in high school. We are reaching students we may never have reached before, that may have never thought about a career in STEM without Project Lead the Way. In 2014, we started the high school intern program with 5 students. 4 of them are here today, working with the Arlington ISD. In 2018-2019, we're expanding the program to 47 high school students and from 4 school districts, all following the Project Lead the Way program model. For you that are coming in as new interns, the program is going to provide you with a way to accelerate your technical growth, your learning and skills, give you experience with leading-edge technology and scientific breakthroughs, make you more competitive for college admission and college scholarships. It's also a great way to make some money, isn't it? Do you agree? You can cheer with that. That's okay. It's okay to make some money. And ultimately, one of the most important things, and you're going to see that today with our 4 originals, It gives you an entree to a career with Lockheed Martin, one of the greatest companies in the world. I want to thank the nearly 100 interns in this program. We value you. We value the work you're doing for us. We know you will succeed in both your work in school and your work with Lockheed Martin. I want to thank again our ISD partners and Dr. Bertram and his team. We really appreciate you. This is important. We have a lot of job openings. We need talented people just like you. And let me close with this thought, because it seems everywhere we look today, people want to focus on the negative. They want to complain on what's wrong with society instead of fixing it. Not in this room. Don't let the world change the positive energy you feel today. Let your positive energy change the world. Thank you and good luck.
So good afternoon. I have the pleasure of introducing our 2018-2019 high school interns. As you've heard today, this year we will be welcoming 3 additional school districts into our family and program. We will be introducing the Crowley ISD into the program, Keller ISD, as well as the Fort Worth ISD program, all joining Arlington, who has been working with us for many years. What I'd like to do is introduce you all by school district. I will not be reading each and every one of your names, but as I introduce your school district, please stand and stay standing, and we will applaud you all. Let's start with the Arlington ISD school interns. Please stand. And we'll go in alphabetical order. May I have the Crowley ISD high school interns please stand? And now the Fort Worth ISD high school interns please stand. Lots of cheers for Fort Worth. And finally, our Keller ISD high school interns. Will you all please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 2018-2019 high school intern program. You may sit. You may have noticed in your program that there are 7 interns that will be working at our Lockheed Martin Rotary Mission and Systems business in Grapevine, Texas. We're really excited about this. This will be an additional Lockheed Martin business that is joining us in the high school intern program, and we're very excited that this may be the beginning of this program across another business area. And now I'd just like to congratulate you all one more time and turn it back over to Ken.
Ron Bessire is our Vice President for Engineering and Technology. He leads the largest engineering workforce in Lockheed Martin. And it's an engineering team that regularly raises the bar on the art of what is possible. When I introduced Greg, I mentioned engineering a better tomorrow. Ron has the honor to formally make sure that that happens. And with 4 incoming engineers who will be part of shaping that tomorrow, I welcome him to the stage to introduce them.
Good afternoon. I'm joined here by 4 of our hiring managers, Rod Anderson, Ron Hofstad, Brett Smooky, who's in here for Jeff Scheinhost, who is in Marietta, Palmdale, but he's sitting in for Jeff, and Charlie Fernandez. I want to start by thanking the talent acquisition folks for bringing these wonderful events to light, helping us obtain the most high-performing interns, I think, in industry. Without you, we wouldn't have the best engineers, and I really thank you for what you do. Interns, I want to address you directly for a minute. This year alone, I was tasked with hiring over 800 engineers. We have a hard time with the recruitment of young engineers because people are not in STEM in the numbers that we'd like to see. That's why this program is so important to us. And I want to thank you personally for the investment in your future and our nation's future, for what you do and your willingness to take on this important competency, STEM. We have a lot of fulfilling work that needs to be done, very interesting work that keeps our warfighters and our country safe. That's what we are in here for. You know, one of AERO's primary missions is to provide our customers, our warfighters, with innovative products that they need in order to perform their mission and do their job. Engineering and technology has the greatest talent in the industry. You're going to learn from the best. We have engineers who've been here for decades. Some have seen programs from start to finish, and some have developed innovative technology that literally has changed the world in the last 30 to 40 years. I hope you're ready to learn from them, because someday you're going to fill their shoes. If your contributions over the last 4 years are any indication of the work you'll do as full-time employees, our company is in good hands. I can't wait to see what you do over your careers, and who knows, maybe someday you'll be here welcoming a group of interns and employees to the workforce. You've been kind of told this before, but my advice to you is to start your careers with a lot of questions. Don't be afraid to voice your opinions and your ideas. You are going to be the people that drive our innovation. You've got to be willing to take the calculated risk, and you've got to have the courage to stand up and provide feedback and design decisions for our current and future products. I want to thank you, and I want to wish you good luck. And now I'd like to invite our stars to the stage. Amy Hughes. Amy found her way into engineering through a love of math and Project Lead the Way courses. She'll be graduating from Texas A&M with a degree in computer engineering and minors in business and cybersecurity. After graduation, she'll be a Lockheed Martin engineer working on F-35 software. Benson Phillips. Benson's love of science led him to Project Lead the Way engineering courses. Since his high school internship at our aeronautics business, he's done summer internships at our missiles and fire control business in Grand Prairie, where he will work as an engineer upon graduation from the University of Texas at Arlington with a degree in mechanical engineering. Well done. Abdallah Shishani. Abdallah found his way to Project Lead the Way through middle school and early adopter, and in addition to his internships here in Fort Worth, his summer he is interning at the world-famous Skunk Works in California, and you saw the skunk by his picture up there. Upon graduation from the University of Texas at Arlington with a degree in mechanical engineering, he will join us as an engineer here as one of our skunks. Austin Smith. Austin enrolled in Project Lead the Way as a way to continue with subjects he enjoyed the most. Upon graduation from the University of Texas at Arlington with a degree in mechanical engineering, he'll be a Lockheed Martin engineer on the F-35 subsystem, or F-35 airplane. Amy, Benson, Abdullah, Austin, we have your offers ready for your signature.
we've had the opportunity to see the commitment in our community, our schools. A very special thank you to the teachers, administrators, and counselors that work with the students each and every day, to the parents who work with us day and night. Project Lead the Way, the national leader on how to inspire future engineers in the classroom. To our employees who embrace and mentor and challenge our interns and dedicate their time to engineers in the classroom. To Amy and Benson and Abdullah and Austin, you set the bar for all who follow, and we're excited for your return upon graduation. To our incoming high school interns, welcome once again. You represent a new chapter for our program with the addition of Crowley, Fort Worth, and Keller ISDs. I'd now like to invite you to the back of the room for more pictures and ask that all of you please join us for refreshments. And thank you for spending this special day with us.